want to show you a few safety precautions about the razor blades that we'll be using. Where the heck are they? Ah, here are the razor blades. We'll be using razor blades or X-Acto knife or scissors. Where are the scissors? Scissors. Scissors to cut the balsa wood. I use a razor blade because I've always used a razor blade since I was in 6th grade. Went to build model airplanes. This is a very, very common tool. So I've also sliced my fingers open quite a number of times with the razor blades. Almost always it was because I was pushing hard against something that I didn't want to cut, and behind it I had my finger, and the thing that I was pushing hard on would give way and then continue on and slice through my finger. So beware about what's behind what you're cutting. If it's your body, then don't do it, and don't push too hard. Alright, one more thing I'd like to add about the razor blades, I forgot to mention before, is they come in a large number, and I noticed that in the kind of razor blades that I have, sometimes the cardboard protector got pushed on a little bit too far, and a bit of the razor blade is poking out. This is a good example right here. So if you grab a bunch of razor blades from the container, just be aware that one of those edges might be exposed. And I'll show you what happens. What's going on here? Ah, come on. There we go. Alright. Here's the top of the razor blade that you hold, obviously, with the extra piece of metal folded around it. And there's the blade, and sometimes the cardboard thing that protects it is shoved up a little bit further, exposing the blade. Beware of that when you're grabbing a razor blade. Alright? Alright, that's that for razor blades. We might be able to cut some nice corners on these sticks with scissors. Yeah, that works pretty well too. So maybe we'll just use scissors. I don't know. Razor blades are good to cut balsa wood. Balsa wood and razor blades go together. Another thing is crazy glue. I've also been using crazy glue since it started being used by people who make model airplanes, and which is basically forever. Here's a little wax paper. I'm going to show a few safety precautions about crazy glue. Some people already know this. Crazy glue can glue your fingers together. Well, I say crazy glue, but I mean super glue. It's also called cyanoacrylate glue, or CA glue. So you might hear me call it CA glue, or super glue, or crazy glue. It's basically the same idea. This is from Harbor Freight, and it's about $4. It comes in different forms. The form that I like is the most liquid kind. It comes in forms that are thicker, but this is the liquid kind. What I'm going to show you that if you sometimes this is clogged, and one way that I use to find out if it's clogged is I squeeze it a little bit and I listen for the air going through it, and I don't hear any air. So that means I got to clear it out using a pin. And most of this is hardened glue, and a lot of that can might even be removable by hand. And when we do this, we might get glue on our fingers. That's not a big deal usually, unless it's crazy glue or super glue. And but right now it's not going to happen. I don't think. Anyway, okay. So there's a hole. I remade the hole in the top. Oh, I just glued a little bit together. And now I can hear the air flowing freely through there, so I know this is flowing freely. So I'm going to put the teeniest time, just to demonstrate. I'm going to put, this is really liquidy. All right, so I don't have to squeeze very hard. I don't even have to squeeze at all to dump to dump, all right, to let a little bit of crazy glue out. And I'm just going to put the tiniest dot there. And that's actually kind of large for what I'm going to be doing. And then I'm going to put the cover back on right away. Put it aside. Now, just to show how this happens, you get a little bit of crazy glue on your finger. Oh, that's a lot actually. I just got a lot. There it is. I'm going to put my two fingers together. Not very hard. And wait. You can see it's starting to bond already. And it glues your fingers together. And that wasn't very much, so I got them apart pretty easily. But if you put more on, you can glue your fingers together better, more thoroughly, and it takes longer for them to come apart. Alright. But don't worry about that too much if it happens to you, because when you get your fingers apart, you won't actually, well, I've never actually pulled my skin off, the first layer of skin off, by pulling my fingers apart after I glued them together. But it'll feel like it a little bit, because it'll be kind of rougher. That's just the leftover glues on your fingers, and that will come off within a couple of hours. It'll also help if you put a little Vaseline on it. Now, one thing this is something that isn't natural to do, but just be aware that if you have crazy glue on your fingers, don't put them in your eyes or anywhere. Although it's very natural if you have foreign stuff on your hands to not brush your eyes with it. But this is pretty important because you don't want to accidentally put a little glue on your eyes and glue your eyelids shut or something like that. So I've never seen that happen, never heard of it, but be careful. If you have glue on your hands, you'll know it. If you rub your hands, you'll feel the sticky parts. All right. The other problem is if you let a drop get on a piece of clothing, it will permanently. It's not coming out. And I'll show you with a little piece of paper towel. If I can find a piece of paper towel. There's a little piece of paper towel. I'm going to get a drop on there. Alright, what it does is it spreads out and forms a disc. And it's not coming out. And I'm gonna speed that up a little bit with baking soda, just to speed things up. And basically it forms a hard spot on the cloth, and it discolors it. And there's no way you're going to get that out. No way, no how. It's just going to be there forever. And it's kind of frustrating. I have a few of those dots in some nice jeans of mine that just not going away. There's a little glued part. Alright, I think that's the safety briefing for crazy glue.